Good morning, it's Ian Koniak, and today I'm going to talk about how to separate your self-esteem from your performance at work. And for most of my career, I only felt like I was as good as my number. And in fact, I'm talking about this topic next week at Sales Success Summit. And it's a really important topic because if you only feel like you're as good as your number, here's what happens, okay? If you're not hitting your number, you feel shitty. You carry that anxiety, that stress, that worry into your family life, into other aspects, and you perform in a state of distress when you're not gonna do your best because you're feeling that pressure. You're not gonna give your best self, okay? Now, if you are hitting your number, doing great, your self-esteem is great, your ego's inflated, that's not that great either because you lose that humility, which really is important for us as humans. And the other thing is that when you're doing great, sometimes you can have imposter syndrome and you can feel like, you know what, I got lucky. In fact, that's what I did most of my career. I hit my number 15 out of 18 years, and I always thought, I got lucky. How long could this continue? How long could this continue? And it's like, you don't give yourself credit even when you're doing well. Even after I made $1 million and finished #1 at Salesforce, I still told myself I got lucky. And so the reality is this takes rewiring our brains, because the reality is we are so much more than just a number. And so it's an important topic. And for those of you who can make it, I'm speaking Tuesday afternoon. I put the link, and I'll put the link again to register. Everybody who registers, I'm going to donate $5 to Uncrushed, which is a nonprofit organization run by Tim Clark to help bring mental health awareness and the resources to the sales and other communities so people know where to get help, because mental health is a big challenge in sales. And a lot of it comes from that stress and pressure we put on ourselves by telling ourselves we're not good enough. And so I'm going to give you a couple quick tips to figure out how to get over this, either imposter syndrome or beating yourself up because you feel like you're not worthy. First tip, and we're going to go over this next week, but I'll give you a few for those who can't make it. Number one is you need to measure the output and not the outcomes. If you're only measuring the scoreboard at the end of the month, quarter, or year, right, you can celebrate one day, a month, quarter, or year. But if you can literally set your goals each day and say, these are the fundamental important things I need to accomplish today, and at the end of the day, if you hit those things, right, if you achieve those things, you can celebrate every single day. And in fact, if you win the day, it leads to winning the week, the month, the quarter, and the year. And so celebrate the wins, set your goals daily, and execute, and you can feel proud of your execution. Number two, do things outside of work that you can feel proud of. Okay, if all your eggs are in the work basket, right, you're not gonna have much of a life outside of work. So for me, I set goals for my health and for my family specifically. Health is all about staying in shape. I just ran a half marathon. I'm signing up for a full marathon next. And family is about spending quality time. My goal is not to work on the weekends. I set a boundary and say I'm done by 6 o'clock every night so I can be there and be present with my family. I have lunch with my wife every single day. We take vacations, lots of vacations. So making sure that you have goals outside of your work. On the weekends, I'm fixing up the house, I'm gardening, I'm taking trips with my family, right? I'm always doing stuff. I'm not sitting around on the couch watching TV or playing video games. I have goals outside, which I'm very proud of. So regardless of what's going on at work, I know I'm doing things to advance my life in the areas that I want outside of work. So I have other things besides work that you set goals for and be proud of. And the third tip is remember who you are, especially if you're in a slump. Remember those times when you overcame adversity. Remember the challenges that you've had to get to where you are today. Remember the times when you got those big wins. That's still who you are today, right? When we start to doubt ourselves and to question ourselves, then we start to believe that, and then we become a different person. Well, let's remind ourselves who we are at our peak performance, right? Because that person is still inside of you. The person who got to this point is very much alive and ready to be unleashed. So remember who you are, even if you're in a slump. What got you here up to this point is your core grit, your work ethic, your passion, your consideration, your empathy, caring about people. You're gonna out hustle, whatever it is that's unique to you. Remember those attributes and live to those, and remind yourself of who you are and stay true to those attributes. I hope this helps you guys, and I will see you next week at the Sales Success Summit. Cheers.